SCTV now begins its programming day.
Even before making a name for themselves on the groundbreaking show SCTV, Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara were part of a legendary improv troupe in Toronto called Second City. Then the gang moved to TV, Eugene playing awkward nerds.
So how did you both came? Did you drove and did you flew?
And Catherine refining her knack for playing saucy chicks.
Hi, honey, where are you from?
Oh, Canada.
Canada, really? I got lots of friends in Canada.
Often their SCTV scenes included both.
Is this your wife, sweetie?
That on-screen chemistry worked its way to Hollywood when they went off on their own, now as parents, in blockbusters like American Pie and Home Alone. Eugene and Catherine then reunited in a series of cult favorite mockumentaries as an oddball married couple in Best in Show.
She was very popular back then. She had dozens of boyfriends.
Hundreds.
And folk singers with lots of hair in A Mighty Wind.
We traded. You're right. Oh, Mitch, you're right. Oh, I forgot.
Now they're back on Canadian television with a comedy, Schitt's Creek.
There is a very small amount set aside for you, and one asset the government has allowed you to retain.
The kids.
The children are dependents, Moira.
A riches to rags tale that shows a wealthy family's fall from grace. I asked Eugene and Catherine about the show, the CBC, and more when we met up recently in Toronto.
So nice to meet you. I'm thrilled.
Same here. Nice to meet you, Wendy.
So the idea, Schitt's Creek, how did you persuade CBC to go with the name Schitt's Creek?
Say it again, Wendy.
It's so exciting. You go.
Because they knew everyone on CBC wanted to be able to say that name as often as possible.
Yeah, you know, the thing was, it was actually very simple and it didn't take a big push. We didn't really have to go overboard in convincing them about the name of the show. The name, spelled S-C-H-I-T-T, is a legitimate surname. It is a name that we looked up in several phone books and found a column of Schitts in the phone book. And we went to several phone books in different cities and then in several countries. So, you know, our argument was, if you're interviewing somebody, let's say on your news broadcast, and you're supering people that you are interviewing on the air, and their name happened to be Schitt, spelled S-C-H-I-T-T, would you super the name, or would you not super the name?
If it had you and Catherine in it.
A real person.
No, but it's a real person I'm talking
on the
about.
scene.
If you're interviewing somebody and that's their name, would you use their
on the
name or
news,
would
yes.
you not?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that was the argument that actually won the CBC over, which is they couldn't argue against the fact that this is a person's name. We have a right to, to use that as the title. It's the name of the family that founded the town that is the town in our show.
So people are really familiar with you from the movies, and the older people maybe from SCTV, which is where you guys all started out. But we went back just to try and find if we could find any
Why would you do that?
moments. So Eugene, this is one of you. So we know you from the movies. This is from a TV show that you did in 1975.
Well, it ain't the Kiwanis.
May I speak to the president?
We don't have a president. We don't even have a prime minister.
Is there anybody here who speaks for the club?
With or without an accent. Oh, wait, I'm Larry King.
Wow.
King of Kensington.
King of Kensington, yeah.
Nice
I did, I think I did a couple of those shows. Yeah. Well, that was the big
Hair?
sitcom.
That was a big show. Yeah, the big hair.
That was the big hair thing, but that Welcome to My Life,
yeah, it was
that's
a big
pretty
show.
much it. That was the show.
Yeah.
That was the first successful comedy show, sitcom, not comedy show, sitcom, that this country, I think, has seen. It went, ran for 5 years. Yeah.
We found one of you too.
Oh, I bet I know what it is.
Guess.
Bit to print.
Oh no, I'll have to look for that.
Don't.
Which one is it?
It's a pilot I did, and Marty Short and I were in
Oh, you did a pilot with Martin Short and it didn't go to air?
it. Yeah.
Wow.
When you see, you'll know. What happened to Mr. Tarleton?
Nothing, unfortunately. He is still in the land of the living.
Oh, we thought he was in Toronto.
We found something. We found you in Coming Up
Oh,
Rosie.
that was my next guess. Oh, yeah.
Coming Up Rosie.
Anything you see of my work at that time, my goofing off at that time was pretty pathetic.
You were a baton swirler.
Oh, was I?
Let's see it.
I was a waitress or something in the show. It was a kids' show, and it was with Rosemary Radcliffe. She was Rosie of Coming Up Rosie. Dan Aykroyd was in it.
I have one more flashback to show you here. So this
if my hair looks the same.
It's kind of the same hair.
And now, here with a commentary on today's events is Earl Cannonbear.
Thanks, Floyd. The recent wave of network violence that felled SCTV President Guy Caballero is, in this reporter's opinion, deplorable.
That was his next hairdo.
Earl Camembert.
That made me laugh.
That's great.
That was funny. Floyd and Earl.
Yeah, so it was, you were Earl Camembert, and your sidekick was Floyd Robertson.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Lloyd just retired.
That's right.
After a
That's a very
gazillion
similar
years.
name.
Yes.
That's weird.
It was pretty close.
And Earl Cannonbear
was
Earl Cameron, kind of, who was a CBC anchor in the early 60s.
Right. That's right.
With the national edition, here is Earl Cameron.
Good evening.
That's right. Earl
So
Cameron.
were you like mocking news people?
Oh, I don't think I would call that mocking. No, this is not. They were certainly not impressions. We're not, you know. No. Not impressions. It was just a name that would have a ring to the audience without it being the real name. Certainly not an impression. Joe was not doing an impression of Lloyd Robertson. It was just kind of, you know. But that was great, and Lloyd loved that. I used to, you know, was on the Sick Kids telethon for years when Lloyd was still doing it, and you know, he got a kick. He got a kick out of it.
You may have heard that CBC's been going through a bit of a rough time the last few years. A little scandal here and there, and a few cuts, and I just wonder, here you are now, you're part of the CBC family doing this show now. I mean, what do you think about public broadcasting? Does it matter?
Here's the thing about CBC Comedy, you know, and why we're here, because they have been making a very conscientious effort to kind of lean more cable in their sensibility, and that is the direction all network television has to go.
Like HBO.
Like HBO, if they want to compete. Because there are no boundaries. You can kind of go where you want to go creatively, and if the audience wants to go with you, then you've got a hit. You know, we're all hoping that, you know, we can, you know, turn things around.
Well, it's been a real pleasure talking to you, and I really hope for all our sakes that the show is a huge success.
Well, thank you, Wendy. We hope it's a hit ourselves.